Thank you for that answer on state pensions. That's the most common question we get from our community, so it's really good to have clarity on that. Most of the other questions, all of the other questions relate to private pensions, and the most common one we get is how do you find all of the pensions that you've contributed to over your lifetime of working? Is that an easy thing to do?
Okay, first of all, let's start with the fact that it is a very common problem these days. So, in years gone by, it may be that people would have left school, started working, and some people continued in that one particular job or in that one particular company for their entire working life.
My dad did that. He's been with the same company for 40 years.
Okay, which is not uncommon. What we tend to see now is that younger people generally, will have anything up to 5, 6, 7 jobs by the time they get to 30 years old.
And that's me you've described. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you fit the mould perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
So for your father in this example, things are very easy. He has one pension, one company. So for him, it's very, very simple to track these things down. For yourself, so the next problem you have is not only have you got multiple pension schemes, but you've now moved address. So you've moved house. Now, obviously, when you move house, you try to remember to tell everybody that that's what's happened and you've moved, but notoriously, you'll always miss off 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
And every time you move, this could happen again and again and again. So we now get to 55 and you're looking to retire. The problem that you have is you just don't know how many pension schemes that you've got.
No.
So the first and most obvious thing to do is to try to remember the various companies that you've worked for. You could contact their HR departments directly, and hopefully they would have some record.
Yeah.
Also, you should also receive, if you remember to change the address, you should also receive an annual statement from most people. What I tend to advise people to do these days is, if there is an online service, is to use the online service.
Okay.
Because that way it doesn't matter if you forget to change address. There is also, however, a pension tracking service on the .gov website.
Okay.
And there is, you will need to know the answers to a number of questions: the company that you worked for, how long you worked there, when you started, when you stopped. But if you can find that information, then a lot of the time that is also a useful service. So this is a free service on the .gov website.
Okay, cool.
That will help you track them down.
Yeah, again, I'll put the links in the description as a coverall. All of the links from any of the questions will be in the description of this video. Okay, so that's really useful. So it's just another website, another page on the .gov website.
Absolutely.
That you answer some questions to, or you call up the HR department. So I guess you could even just call a Fred, right? All you need is the pension advisors, the pension provider's name, and then you can call them to find your actual pension.
That's another option if the company is no longer operating, for instance, and so there is no HR department to contact. If you know the actual pension provider, the administrator of the pension, then absolutely you could contact them directly.
Okay, perfect. That's fantastic.